Welcome back to Pancrase, Legends of Mixed Martial Arts, and now we're going to see Larry Papadopoulos against Katsuomi Inagaki. And Josh, you were just telling me Papadopoulos, one of the first practitioners of jiu-jitsu in Pancrase.
Yeah, Papadopoulos had trained under John Will in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Australia, who I believe is a Machado affiliate, and one of the earlier guys to bring the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a background into Pancrase.
All right, and we'll see how that jiu-jitsu serves him in this upcoming fight.
Katsuomi Inagaki versus Larry Papadopoulos.
And both fighters right in the ring, and a very quick start. Both of them coming out swinging, Josh.
Yeah, both of them very aggressive with the strikes, not taking their time at all. Papadopoulos lands a nice solid knee to the midsection.
Another solid knee.
Papadopoulos doesn't seem to really be deterred by the size advantage in Inagaki.
Both fighters still in the clinch.
Nice low kick on the way out by Inagaki.
And another exchange of palm strikes. And again, in this fight so far, both fighters being very active.
Yeah, neither fighter has really attempted to bring this fight to the ground yet.
And who of the two fighters would want this fight on the ground?
You know, honestly, I think either one of them would want. Well, as you see, that is a sort of a technique of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to pull guard to bring their opponent onto the mat. Something that you wouldn't see from any of the Pancrase fighters, and actually kind of dangerous within the realm of mixed martial arts. But Papadopoulos here eventually working to the back later on in the match.
And we're moving a little bit ahead in the fight.
A triangle choke attempt by Papadopoulos on Inagaki. Inagaki's got to be careful. He's got to get his head out of there. He's got to get his posture up and protect his arm. Otherwise, he's in danger of getting submitted.
Fortunate enough, the rope was right next to him, so he managed to escape. It'll cost him a point, but he's still in the fight.
Well, it's got to be a confidence boost for Papadopoulos, but he eats a right palm strike on the feet before getting the single leg takedown.
And that single leg takedown maybe came a second too late. That was a very strong strike by Inagaki on the nose of Papadopoulos, and I think he might be bleeding, Josh.
Well, he certainly took one straight on there from Inagaki, and Inagaki was even working his own triangle attempt on his own. And
I think they're going to get the doctors to look at Papadopoulos.
Well, Larry doesn't look really. He looks like he's a bit injured, maybe dazed.
Oh, he's definitely bleeding. What kind of damage can those shotes do?
Well, they can easily break a nose or cut an eye, or as we've seen before, knock opponents straight out, like when delivered by the hands of someone like Bas Rutten.
And it looks like Papadopoulos is going to continue this fight.
But I bet he's going to be nice spin back kick by Papadopoulos, but he's really gun shy about getting hit in the face again.
And Inagaki throwing those knees. Now, if you're Inagaki, would you like to continue those palm strikes, pick on that cut?
Of course. So you try to get that distance, create the space, and maybe land another one of those strikes that broke his nose in the first place.
Inagaki with the hard takedown, perhaps smelling blood, literally.
Yeah, nice attempt at a backdrop suplex by Inagaki. Not quite as much elevation as he'd like. Now attacking the face, putting a face lock on Papadopoulos while he's on his back. Coming across the nose.
And that nose is already busted, so it hurts even more now.
Yeah, certainly going for a weakness when he sees it. Papadopoulos escaping, passing guard, and going for a rear naked choke while securing the back there. Maybe looking to look for the armbar here is Papadopoulos while he's got his control with the one-on-one with the right hand. Going back to the sleeper now is Papadopoulos.
And it looks like that sleeper hold is very close to being completed. The referee checking to make sure if Inagaki taps out, he can get Papadopoulos off of him quickly, and looks like saved by the bell by Inagaki. Not sure that it really mattered. Papadopoulos still victorious, bloodied and all. And as we take a look at the replay, there was the right palm strike. His head just whiplashed backwards.
Yeah, and it's really fortunate for Papadopoulos to have gotten that rope escape early on, as that was what allowed him to win the fight. Because I think if it would have went to the judge's decision, after eating a shot like that, might have had a lot of influence towards going Inagaki's side.
All right, in our next fight, we're going to see Yusuke Fuke versus Todd Medina. Now, Todd Medina does have ring experience but it's in UFC. Josh, how much would that help him in a Pancrase fight?
Well, I think the UFC at the time was really more of a striker sort of oriented thing, and with the cage, the rhythm and the pace is going to be different. But being in the ring already, being in the cage, having that mixed martial arts experience is going to go a long way, even into transitioning to an event like Pancrase where the rules are quite a bit different. But without the ability to throw headbutts, elbows, and the punches to the face on the ground, his attacks are really going to be more grappling based. And while there was a lot of submissions in UFC, there was also a lot of ground and pound work as well.
All right, and we'll see how he does against Yosuke Fuke in his debut bout.
Yosuke Fuke versus Todd Medina.
And Medina, it's actually his third fight. Two of them have been in UFC, and Yosuke Fuke, a 9-9 record, so he already has 18 career fights in Pancrase. How will that experience serve him in this fight, Josh?
Well, certainly, I think Fuke has really got the overall experience with his pro wrestling background as well as the 18 fights in Pancrase. But he is giving up some size and probably some strength in against his opponent, Medina. But I'd like to see how the grappling game works out between the two of them.
But in terms of athletics, it seems like Fuke is the more athletic fighter. Judo player in high school, track and field also when he went to school.
Well, I think that what it comes down to is the match wears on. I think that stamina is really going to be in an advantage in Yusuke's for Yusuke in this match. I don't think Medina's got the gas tank to go a 30-minute match or a 20-minute match.
And Medina looking to end this fight quickly with the guillotine on Fuke, and Fuke would get out of that as we move forward in the match.
Medina here working from a half guard position, working for a top wrist lock. Not in the best position to work for that technique, as he should be trying to secure the other arm, but Fuke avoiding that, giving up the back position to Medina.
And as we see Medina going for submissions here, just how good is this guy's ground game?
It's hard to say at this point, but certainly Medina is familiar with the game as he takes the back and looks for the sleeper choke there. He's no stranger to working on the mat, but I don't think it's significantly better than Fuke's at this point. So,
and Fuke doesn't seem to be doing too well in that position. He's trying to get out of it, and he finally does. I don't know how much longer he could have held up, and now he grabs Medina's ankle. What is he trying to do with Medina's ankle?
He's working for a toe hold from inside the rear hooks there, and now he's managed to spin inside onto Medina and get inside his guard. I think the advantage where someone like Fuke is going to have against Medina in the grappling, as he locks up a front choke here as they transition to their feet, is that someone like Fuke is going to have a lot of advantage with techniques like heel hooks and leg locks and some of the more varied techniques that wouldn't really hit the UFC 4 years later.
So, and Medina going for the one-leg takedown as the fighter's near the ropes. They're going to have to get away from the ropes or else the ref just might break it.
Nice diving armbar attempt by Fuke. Still in position on the arm.
He looks like he might have it, Josh. And Medina taps out to the armbar. Yosuke Fuke, the smaller fighter, wins. Just goes to show you size doesn't always matter.
No, and Medina certainly, it seemed as if that he didn't feel he was in really that much danger and didn't even think about trying to catch the ropes, and maybe something of a drawback from his experience in UFC. There is no rope escapes at the time and to grab the cage to release the hold.
And as we come back to the studio, Yosuke Fuke looked like Medina was actually dictating that fight, but Fuke in an instant got that armbar, ended the fight quick.
Yeah, certainly Medina was using his size and his strength. I think that he was using a lot of positional control on Fuke and wasn't really interested in engaging into a battle of submission attempts. But in the end, it was Fuke's use of a dynamic movement like that jumping, rolling arm lock attempt that got him in position that was able to win the fight for him.
All right, and coming up next, we're going to see Ryushi Nagasawa versus Jason DeLucia.